show, our guest is Tarra Mitchell, who is on the cusp of debuting her first and very exciting new book, The Yoga of Leadership. So I should ask you, what made you decide to write your book on yoga, and the yoga culture?
So I guess that's the second phase of life. That was life post my son and in the middle of the global financial crisis. So I had done a little consulting and I had time on my hands. There weren't a lot of great jobs, and so I said, what else can I do? And I was passionate about yoga. I had a yoga practice for many years at that point. And I thought, well, let me do one of these teacher trainings and learn more about the practice, mainly because I was curious about the practice and I liked it so much. Not so much that I wanted to actually be a teacher, but I ended up being a teacher anyway. And so I signed up for a 200-hour teacher training with a man called Rolf Gates, and he's kind of a walking modern-day prophet. Funny, self-deprecating. He did a really great job at teaching us this somewhat esoteric material that I ended up bringing into my book and my writing. And so it was wonderful to have that time with him, and at the end of his training program I had committed that I thought this material was relevant in a broader context than just to be stated in a yoga studio. So I thought to myself, well, I want to bring this helpful way of living to the business world in some way, which I felt was kind of my world. And so then we were relocated to Virginia on the heels of that, and I decided to continue my study and signed up again for what they call a 500-hour yoga teacher training under the tutelage of a woman called Miriam Ovisi, who owns a studio called Beloved Yoga there in Northern Virginia. And so I studied for another year, and we went much deeper in the layers, and I learned about the holistic framework for well-being then, and that serves as really the basis for how my book has come together. And so for many years to follow, importantly, her teacher training required a thesis. So she agreed to allow me to submit a few chapters of a book, and that really kicked off the writing of a book. I had already been doing a blog for about a year, but that really kicked off the book, which blended my life experience and my work experience with the yoga in a way that I intend to be helpful and useful, practical things that you can do. And so then I just embarked upon writing of the book. And in order to write it, I did a lot of additional research. I read a lot of other books and spent a lot of time attending workshops and mentorship under Miriam. And I also met, who is an important mentor of mine right now, Hari Kirtana Das, who is very steeped in the ancient texts, and he's been with me every step of the way because I really wanted to honor and what these ancient texts kind of were saying about humanity way back when, which really hasn't changed much compared to our needs today. And so I really wanted to honor those ancient texts, and I needed someone that kind of was farther along, knew much more than me, to help me along. So he's been great and really instrumental in helping me get this thing finished.
Right. Wow. Awesome.